Greetings, Inquisitors. Welcome to the Holocron. This is the week 120 update for the Darth Loquitur account. I go through this account's progress every week, talk about all the character upgrades, ship upgrades, mods, datacrons, all the things we're doing for the account. And you guys can follow along. Please remember, as we get started, hit that like button. It helps me, it helps the channel. I would appreciate if you could do that. Let's get into it and see what happened in week 120. We're still waiting on that relic for 3PO and Chewie. We were out of those furnaces, and they need a ton of those furnaces, so it's just been a long haul trying to get those all built up. Rolo is one of the characters that we still need to get to Gear 12 in position to relic for this journey. We've got these Mark 8 eyeballs, and that's what we need 3 of that's preventing us from clicking the upgrade button. But I'm going to lock down all her gear first on this week before we figure out anything else to do, keep our journey going forward. She's the last one that we have to get to Gear 12, and then we'll have everybody ready to just keep relicking them up as we go along. The Sith are in pretty good shape. We go into our Tier 2 upgrades, and we do want to work on this Jedi Knight Luke team in the background here. Also, we're going to work on Asana a little bit. We've got gas earmarked as something that we're going to want to grab for at some point. So we go through, work a little bit on those characters, get another gear tier on Asajj, for example, and pretty quickly run out of materials for the week. Looking at mod stuff, we're going to go through, work on mods. We've been farming a lot of slicing materials, so when we get there, we'll work on that. We go back to characters here for a second, take an upgrade on Gar Saxon. Then we're going to start working on this Sana Staros and give her some gear tiers, give her some initial skills, just get her positioned to work on in the future. Now she does take Kairos, but we're in good shape on Kairos on this account. We have a lot of them in the bank, ready to go for characters like this that might need them. I had previously set my banking at 500 of each, and I think going forward I'm going to do 500 of the computers, and I'm going to keep working on the Cairo shock prods and see if I can ever get up to 1,000 on the shock prods. So we'll set the bank accounts really high on those and try to get it to where someday we can, a team like Bad Batch won't even scare us because we'll have plenty of stuff in the bank to work on. Putting some mods on Sana, just getting things started. We got a crit damage set and some potency. Not probably going to be her final mod set, but just something to get her started. All right, thinking about the team here, I set Cara Dune in here. I don't really want a relic Cara Dune, so it may be something that we try with Cara at Gear 12, and the rest of the characters will be relicked. We'll see what we can do with that. Stormtrooper Han, same way. We'll see if we can get the team going with just a couple relics in there, and then we'll work on it from there. Mod-wise, we're doing slicing, so mainly I've been farming slicing materials. I really want to try to get this CLS team in better shape, so I'm looking at the mods there, trying to figure out if there's any slicing I can do, and take a couple slices, and that's pretty much it. Pretty much all we got for the week there. Datacrons, I hadn't worked on the Datacrons while I was on my vacation, so this is the first week back from the vacation, so I worked on the Datacrons here. Took that one to level 8, and this one doesn't have good enough stats on it, so we're looking at the stats, trying to decide if we want to develop any of the existing Datacrons or if we want to work on some new ones. So here we add this, we get crit damage, that's pretty good. We go for a level 6 just to see if we can get anything good on it, and we get Inquisitors, which we're never going to be able to use, so I go ahead and change it, see if I can at least get something better. We get Scoundrels, we get Droids, so then we decide to take the droid version of that. Keep going on the stats here, and we just get kind of a mix and match of a bunch of different stats. And at the end of the day, it's okay. It's an okay Datacron. We start another one here with crit avoidance. We get bonus mechanic for weakest ally gain and turn meter again, which is nice. So we'll see if we can get some better stats here. And we get some more crit chance and some more health. Kind of a mix of stats again. And that's going to be pretty much all we've got resources for Datacrons for that set. But with a little extra farming in Conquest, we got a pretty decent setup, right? 2 8s, 3 8s, a 6, and a 5 or something like that. So it's pretty decent. We'll look for that going forward to be kind of the standard for what we get. All right, then taking a look at the account stats for week 120, 5.79 million galactic power. Didn't really add much in terms of GP. Only clicked a few buttons this week. 61 relics, 78 zetas, omicrons 10. Squad arena placement is top 10. If I play, I've noticed, and I'll talk about that a little bit more here in a minute, so we'll move on. Fleet arena, we're getting top 5 with the profundity still. In grand arena, we're Kyber 5, and we're working on that Chupio for week 121. The farming plan is pretty much the same as it's been. Same characters. Still working on the Sith fighter out of fleet just for those Mark IV comlinks. Cantina, working mostly signal data. Working a little bit on Sauna as well. Slicing materials in mod energy. For a few weeks here, I'm just going to work on all slicing materials. I've gotten to a point where I've been able to start buying mods out of the shop. Some of those mods are working out, so I actually have quite a few mods right now that are worth slicing, and I don't have the slicing materials for them. So we're going to take a little break from farming all kinds of mods and looking for new ones, and spend some of that effort just trying to get slicing materials for the Journey characters and for the CLS team. Get that CLS team going as good as we can. Refresh strategy is the same, getting 3 on everything. And then in the shops, we're feeding the shard shop and looking for good materials. In looking at GAC, my performance has started to drop off. And the difference between winning and losing for me looks like really the JMK team. So in the past, I had a pretty good period of time where JMK would hold on defense. It would cut it down to a 2-zone fight, so it was not. It was helping me in a way that I could cut down the zones and even with a relatively weak offense, still get a bunch of wins. Now, I've noticed in the squad arena that my team is more and more easily beaten. I've noticed in GAC, JMK is getting beaten a lot more, and when he goes down, I usually lose the GAC. So I'm sort of thinking, in order to keep it where I need less offensive teams, conceptually, I can, maybe I can go in and make JMK more of a timeout team, strengthen the defenses that we have on him. So one of the things I could do is just to build higher relics on all of the characters in that team. Take them all up to relic 7. It also would help me with the new territory battle, where you need relic 6 and relic 7 characters to do those battles. And I still got Ahsoka at little Ahsoka at relic 5, and Mace is at relic 6. So I could build that whole team toward relic 7. Get more waves in TB where I could use that team fully. And although the battles don't contribute as much as they do on light side TB, for example, Geo light side, they do still contribute more than just deploying the characters. So, it would help there and potentially, get me back to holding in GAC. The other thing I could do is just hard commit a bunch of defensive teams. Also put Sith Eternal on defense, also put CLS on defense. Just make that bottom front zone 4 of the hardest teams that I have to offer. Put some more defenses up top. And then really, again, try to get it down to a 2-zone defense. The only thing is, I'm fighting up against opponents that have, 4, 5, 6 GLs a lot of the time. And even if I put more stuff on defense, I don't think it's going to help. I feel like they're going to, any non-GL defenses that I put down, they're just going to break through anyway. Like, they wouldn't have a problem beating my CLS team and things like that. So the idea would be then, well, really we have to go back to this idea that, you know, if my best team can beat your team, your best team, then I can hold against, you know, anything else that you have to offer. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to find out a way to get more Zimbital cards, because that's really what's going to hold me up on relicking these guys to 7. The other materials aren't so bad. Bronzium wiring is always a problem for me, but, you know, we'll just keep chipping away at that. But at any rate, conceptually taking this up. The other thing I could do is I could either work with Mace Windu. He's the 5th person on that squad. It's pretty standard to have, you know, Kenobi as a tank, a Cat in the team, of course, and then the Padawan Ahsoka. So the 5th character is the one that's up for grabs. I could also put Padme in that team. I could relic Padme, put her in that team, and that would make that team even more of a tanky timeout team. That would help me also, because then I could put that Mace over in the Qui-Gon Jinn team. So a couple ideas there to build up my defenses. Something I'm just thinking about. I haven't made up my mind yet, but definitely thinking about this stuff. So the 2023 planning, we're still working on the Jedi Knight Luke journey. We're going to grab gas somewhere along the way, try to get a Sauna team up and running. Jabba the Hutt is the goal there eventually. Then we're going to work on finishing out whatever we need for the Jedi Knight Luke team, Sauna, gas, all that stuff. And work a bit on Afra, and then we'll grab Jedi Master Luke, and we'll take a look at Starkiller. And by then, new things will be in the game, and, you know, maybe there'll be something else we want to chase instead. So I'm open-minded to that, but for right now, that's the planning for the year. That's the progress for the account in week 120. Thank you all for stopping by. Remember to hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Subscribe if you want to see more like this in the future, and of course, join our Discord. The link is in the description of the Holocron down below. We've got a pretty fantastic Discord community. We'd love to see you all over there. Click that button, join on in. Even if you're not a very talkative person, you can just hang out, see what other people are saying, and have a lot of fun. All right, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next Holocron.